Hop in, buckle up, and get ready to lay it on the line. This is Not Speeding, Just Qualifying, a podcast that's just as fast as it sounds. What's good, family? Welcome to an all-new episode of the Not Speeding, Just Qualifying podcast. I'm your host, David Lawrence. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Before we get started, just a reminder, subscribe to us on YouTube. You can also find us in the podcast section of YouTube Music. Both subscriptions are welcome and it helps spread the word about the channel. Also, after you subscribe, like and share our content to your friends and family. We do appreciate everything you guys do for us. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Today, we're going to do part 3 of our NSJQ Predict series. Today, I have 7 predictions for the 2025 NTT INDYcar Series season. So without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's jump right into it. And for prediction number 1, I think an old favorite's going to return to victory lane with a new face. I predict David Malukas will return AJ Foyt to victory lane this season. There's a lot new at AJ Foyt this season. They have a technical partnership with Team Penske for this season, and with the returning Santino Ferrucci, we also have David Malukas. Before Malukas came, Foyt showed with Ferrucci that they are a force to be reckoned with on the right day. Now that they've signed Malukas away from originally Aaron McLaren, then from Meyer Shank Racing after Malukas came in to replace Tom Blomqvist after he was underperforming, Malukas just feels like things are lining up at the right time. I think he can sneak an oval win this season. And I say oval because that's where Malukas shines the brightest. His best runs were at Iowa and St. Louis the last couple of seasons. So I feel like those will be his 2 best spots. If he and that AJ Foyt team can get everything right, I think it will be their day, their time to go to victory lane this season. For my next prediction, I'm going to start with this. I know this isn't an F1 episode, but in case you have not heard, there is something called Cadillac Formula One that is essentially ran by the Andretti Global, or what's known in the Formula One world as TWG Global, and they are looking for an American Formula One driver. The name that everyone, and I mean everyone, is putting pen to paper for one of those 2 seats is a youngster named Colton Herta. Colton has become one of INDYCar's stars since he came into the series in 2019, winning as a rookie in only, I think it was his 2nd or 3rd start. I forgot when Coda was on that 2019 schedule. But Colton has truly become one of INDYCar's brightest stars. So brace yourself for this one. Prediction number 2, this will be Colton Herta's last season in INDYCar. Here's why I say that. For Colton to get to Formula One, he needs 40 super license points over the course of 3 seasons. As it stands right now, thanks to Colton's runner-up last season, Colton now sits on 32 super license points, accumulated from 22, 23, and 24. Colton needs a 4th or better in the championship this season to earn those super license points. I think Colton will win 2 races, and I think he'll have enough consistency to finish 3rd in the final standings, and then he will be happily whisked away to Cadillac for the 2026 racing season, therefore fulfilling the Colton Herta to F1 pipeline dream that we all have been prospecting for well over a decade. Of course, Colton doing British Formula 4, his trek in Europe for quite a while, but then came back over to America, found INDYCar, so on and so forth. Like I say, he only needs to finish 4th to gain a super license in INDYCar this season. I think he gets 3rd in the final standings. So, sorry Colton Herta fans, but he's going to be heading to Formula One in 2026. Alright, with that being said, I'm going to transition right into my next point. I mentioned Colton Herta will win 2 races. I think Colton will be at least I predict Colton will be one of 10 different winners in 2025. Side prediction, there will be one other first-time winner in addition to David Malukas. So remember, as I mentioned, Malukas and Herta winners already. We also have Dixon, Palou, Power, McLaughlin, Joseph Newgarden going for his third straight Indy 500. With only 17 races, and this being such an unpredictable series, and with an absolutely talented grid from top to bottom, anyone can win on any given race day. That is why motorsports fans are so drawn to the NTT IndyCar series, because it is so competitive. Even though you know that you'll have your 2 or 3 teams that will remain consistent, there is always that opportunity for even one of the smaller teams to have what is known over in Formula One, to quote Tom Clarkson, have their day of days. We've seen it happen before, and I'm pretty confident we'll see it happen again this year. Now, who will be the other big surprises? I'm not 100% sure, but considering we've always seen first-time winners in IndyCar, I will not be shocked if we get another. I will not be shocked if we do get so many different winners next season. Prediction number 4. I say Graham Rahal will have the biggest improvement in turnaround from 2024 to 2025. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Graham has had a rough last 3-4 years in the series. Let's take a look at 2024, for example. 18th in the final point standings with only a best finish of 8th in the second race at Iowa. And, oh, by the way, to think about this, he has not had a top 10 points finish since 2021, since he finished 7th. And this one really boggled my mind. It's been since 2017 since he swept when the NTT IndyCar Series was still racing on Belle Isle in Detroit. Yes, it's been that long since Graham Rahal's won a race. I'm not trying to get on Graham's bad side. I'm literally just stating facts here. Yes, 2024 wasn't up to Rahal Letterman Lanigan's lofty expectations. Granted, the only podium they got a year ago was by a driver that's no longer with the team, Christian Lundgaard, when they got the podium at Indianapolis in the GP. He's now off to McLaren to replace Alexander Rossi. Graham missed the 2023 Indy 500, or at least his car did. He made the field only after Stephen Wilson got injured the morning after bump day in that practice. So yeah, to say it's been a rough last few years for Graham Rahal has been rough, but I think this year will be a great opportunity for Graham to bounce back and finally get a top 10 points finish, get some consistency going, and I think he'll find some podiums this season as well. From biggest improvement to biggest disappointment, prediction number 5, I feel that is going to go the way of Kyle Kirkwood. Here's why, and Kirkwood fans, please do not curse me for this. Last year I said Marcus Ericsson would be the biggest disappointment as he transitioned from Andretti from Ganassi, and he kind of proved me right there a little bit. No wins, no podiums, and he didn't even finish in the top 10 in points. So to me, I feel that's quite a disappointment and letdown for a move that saw a lot of hype behind it. Kirkwood was 7th last season, and his Toronto runner-up his only podium. Again, this is not a slight to Kirkwood or Andretti Global, but as I mentioned earlier in this piece, this is a very intense grid. And with Brian Herta calling the shots, a duo that I know is a winning one, can they step it up and continue to keep going? Even though they didn't win a race in 24, can they bring back some of that magic from 23 where they grabbed 2 wins? Can they bring some of that back in 2025. As with all of my biggest disappointment predictions, I hope I'm wrong on this. But I won't be surprised because it's just a little bit of read the writing on the wall. Let's see how things go. Prediction number 6. Let's jump to Memorial Day weekend. We all know what that means. It's the one reason, well, some will say the one reason this series exists. I just say it's the crown jewel of the NTT IndyCar series. Of course, I'm talking about the greatest spectacle in racing, the Indianapolis 500, and I'm predicting a new winner. I predict the winner of the 109th Indianapolis 500, Patricio Award of Arrow McLaren. Since he failed to qualify for the Indy 500 in 2019, every Indy 500 he has ran, Pato in the final 10 laps has been in contention. The one exception, 2023, and even that comes with a caveat. He was leading on the restart with 8 laps to go, lost the lead in turn 1, and went back to third, and going into turn 3, wrecked trying to go side by side with Marcus Ericsson for second. Take 23 out of the equation, Pato's worst 500 finish is 6th. He's been the runner-up twice. I think the bridesmaid becomes the bride this time around. I don't know what it is about Arrow McLaren and Indy, but they just set up those cars and they are just straight rocket ships for the month of May. I don't think this year will be any exception, and I think this year, Pato's been through this quite a few times. He knows how to close the deal. Pato wins the Indy 500. Last but not least, prediction number 7, we will have a new champion. Sorry, Pelot fans, but I don't think he gets 3 in a row. Sorry, Scott Dixon fans, he does not get that record-tying 7th IndyCar championship. No. But here's your hint. I do think it will be a Kiwi. Your 2025 NTT IndyCar Series champion, my prediction, Scotty McLaughlin. Scotty has finished 5th in 2022. He's been 3rd in the last 2 seasons. And let's be honest, if he doesn't get disqualified from St. Pete at the season opener in 24, Scotty Mack is your runner-up instead of Colton Herta. He's in a proven team. He's a proven winner, a proven front runner. And I think after seeing Ganassi take the last 2 titles, it's time for a Penske driver to take the title in IndyCar this season. And even though they won't win the Indy 500, I think this is the year Scotty McLaughlin finally ascends to American open wheel royalty. Scotty McLaughlin will be your 2025 champion when we get to Nashville come the end of August. There you have it, my friends. Here are your 7 predictions for the 2025 NTT IndyCar Series season. Hope you guys enjoyed it. What predictions do you have for the season? And what do you think I was right about? What do you think I'm going to get wrong? Let me know in the comment section below. And oh, by the way, you can also give us your opinions on social media. Perfect segue. Follow us on X, follow us on IG, follow us on Blue Sky. We are at the handle NSJQ Podcast. And again, subscribe to us on YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube Music, like and share the podcast so others can know about us as well. And if you would like to follow me on my personal social media handles, I will leave the handles to those in the description box below this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Again, I cannot say it enough. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in, taking in the content. I enjoy making it for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy watching it as much as I enjoy making it. I'm David Lawrence, and until the next time we see you on the Not Speaking Just Qualifying podcast, remember, you're not living life to the fullest until you're going flat out. It's like everyone.